A few months ago, I saw a shocking satellite picture of the Korean peninsula taken at night. It was completely dark up in the north, and in contrast, bright satellites were shining all over the south. North and South Korea are neighboring countries. However, we live under completely different conditions. When talking about love for our neighbors, I immediately thought about North Korea, and particularly its children. In order to help North Korean children, we have to first support their basic needs, help change their education, and help young North Korean defectors in South Korea, so that they will be the source of change for North Korea's future. First, we need to support the basic needs of the North Korean children, who are mostly left without enough food, proper shelter, and clothing. The North Korean government, ruled by a dictatorship, does not seem to care for its own young citizens. When I was 5 years old, I saw a picture of North Korean children. Looking so thin and weak, I could even see the ribs showing. According to a report in 2019, 11 million North Koreans, that is more than 40% of its population, are undernourished and need humanitarian aid. Hearing about the tragedy, my parents asked me, why don't we do something about this, Taeyun? We found out about an organization, The First Step, which delivers soy milk to the children to supplement their nutrition. For about the past 2 years, I've saved up my pocket money to send to the organization every month. Even if this was a small, humble act of help, it was one way I could begin to provide care for my neighbors in the north. Thus, we need to find more ways to support the basic needs of the North Korean children and support the organizations that already do this. Second, it is also important to help change the education in North Korea. In a book called Understanding North Korea, I learned that many children are forced into hard labors instead of being in the classroom. The children who do get an education are taught violence and false information, which can be harmful to the minds of young children. For example, one of their math questions asks, in the Korean War, the North Korean army shot 100 people. About 60 were killed. How many people survived? As you can see, such questions are unnecessarily violent, even for adults, not to mention for children. Not only that, the focus of their education is not to give knowledge and skills, but instead to create fear and hate towards free countries. As their neighbors, we need to save them from the false and the abusive education of North Korea. Third, since it is very difficult to reach North Korean children directly, we must first begin by helping those already living in our country. We can start by helping the North Korean families who have defected to South Korea. There is a school named Yeomyeong, which was established in 2004, with the goal of helping the North Korean refugee children grow up as responsible members of a free society. You can help the school by volunteering to teach or giving financial support. This is one great way to show love and care for the North Korean refugee children. In conclusion, living comfortably in South Korea, we can easily forget that we have neighbors in the north who are in desperate need of help. We must remember that our closest and most vulnerable neighbors are the children in North Korea. To help change the situation, we can start by supporting their basic needs, changing their education, and caring for the young North Korean defectors. So, why don't you join me in making the northern part of the satellite picture a little brighter? Thank you.